Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, we're going up to the International Space Station. October 17th saw some activity from the space station looking down at the Earth. A gentleman by the name of Yamni saw some orbs or some sort of UFO crafts orbiting the Earth high in the atmosphere. But here's the unique thing. They were also visible, or at least some similar objects were visible on the same date from down here on Earth. I've got so many examples, there's too many to share in one video. But I did put together a slideshow of some of the observations from right down here on Earth of what appear to be the same things. What you're looking at here is a photo taken by Daryl out of Alberta, Canada, driving down the road and looked up and sees what looks like a massive square up in the sky. Get a load of that, would you? Incredible photo. Checking out the Schumann resonance, got a little bit of activity. That's from the Earth-facing active region on the surface of the sun that's seen some activity here recently. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. Got an interesting signature over here at the Madison River seismograph. You can see what has been declared an earthquake. That's been reviewed by a seismologist. That's what the red vertical bars mean. And that is a significant signature that looks like some sort of a isolated incident because it's not anywhere else. Everywhere else looks pretty normal. What we see pretty much on a day-to-day basis, a little bit of activity around the supervolcano caldera, which I would expect. After all, it's a supervolcano. But this here looks like some sort of a event occurred. I don't know if it was an earthquake, some sort of underground hydrothermal activity. Obviously, there's always the chance of magma intrusion in these areas of a supervolcano, any supervolcano, let alone Yellowstone. So don't know exactly what's going on there. Took a screen grab of it. That's a fairly significant event, and it's only at the Madison River seismograph over at the supervolcano caldera. Also in this video, got a brand new picture slideshow, new sky phenomena photos sent in from all around the world. First, we're going to go up to the International Space Station. You can see the original video down in the description box that was shared with me of what look like white orbs. You can see one right here. I know that one's a little tough to see, but we're going to go in close because there's multiple observations of these objects orbiting or up above the Earth, high in the atmosphere. I don't know if they're orbiting. I don't really know what they're doing. Don't know what they are and don't claim to know. You can see one over here. We're going to look at one that's pretty bright. They're different sizes, appear to have different luminosity. Some are brighter than others. There's about a half a dozen or so in this segment that was shared with me by Yamni from Canada. And again, you can find that video down in the description box. Here's three. There's two very obvious ones there. There's one here, and then you're going to see three. This one I actually zoomed in on. It's pretty good size, bigger than this one here, at least brighter. Maybe it's higher up in the atmosphere. Maybe the other one's lower or higher, or vice versa. Don't know. Don't claim to know. It's just something that we don't see every day on the International Space Station live cam. He was actually watching this on his large screen TV. When he noticed these objects, he grabbed his phone and started recording them real quick. You can see another one that just entered the field of view right there. So in this particular field of view, there's three objects orbiting the Earth. They appear to be moving. Maybe they're stationary, but here's the thing. What's neat, these types of objects, as you're going to see in this video, have also, especially, it was on the same day, this is October 17th, were visible from the ground at various places around the world. Here's that same moment, that part of the video just enhanced. You can clearly see there's some objects in the field of view of the International Space Station camera looking down at planet Earth. Now we're going to look at orbs down on Earth looking up into the sky. Like I said, I've got too many examples to even share. This video here was taken on October 18th, around the same time as the International Space Station video. This was sent in by Leilani. Not exactly sure of the location, but definitely sure of what we're looking at. Some sort of a unknown white object in the sky, just like we were seeing from the International Space Station. Got a pretty good look at this thing, but still unable to identify what we're looking at here. It's white. It doesn't look familiar, you know, like we'd look up and see a helicopter, even a balloon. That doesn't look like a balloon. When you see balloons up in the sky, especially balloons that are collecting data, they're going to have more of a teardrop shape to them. They're going to be pulled down by gravity because they carry a payload that is collecting data. That does not look like a balloon. Don't know. I guess a drone's always a possibility. It's very bright white, kind of hard to miss. And Leilani was compelled to take a video of it. This next one here was taken by Stephanie out of North Atlanta. Actually, first thing she says in the video is, "What is that?" Again, not an airplane, not a helicopter. You don't have to question those things. You know what they are. You see them all the time. This was more stationary, and this was above North Atlanta, Georgia. See it? I mean, it's kind of hard to miss. Fairly high up in the sky. And again, keep in mind what we just saw from the International Space Station. Look like white objects orbiting the Earth. Could they be satellites? Of course, I guess that's always a possibility, but we don't normally. Here's a zoomed in version from a still image of that video taken by Stephanie from North Atlanta. And again, we don't normally go outside and look up and see satellites orbiting the Earth. You can see them at night. If you go outside and look up, you can see little bright lights orbiting the Earth, but not usually during the daytime. I mean, if we can, something new. Hubert out of Freeport, Florida, same situation. White object in the sky, and this was also around the 17th and 18th of October. This one was very bright white, and he was kind of questioning, maybe was it a planet?
I mean, there is, I think so, but
you know,
not really, I don't know.
It was too early to have a planet or a star out that early because the sun wasn't even completely down. Here's a still image of this one as well. Again, very bright white. And keep in mind, this was around the same time that the space station picked up those white objects.
I don't see the Jupiter.
And he's familiar with Jupiter. He's mentioning Jupiter, and it wasn't out yet. And that's clearly not Jupiter. So don't know, again, what this is, and don't claim to know. And neither did the viewer. They just found it interesting enough to stop what they were doing, pull out their recording device, and start recording. And I got to admit, if I saw something like that in the sky, I would have done the same thing. That's very unique. He showed the moon just for perspective purposes, and then back over to the unknown white object. Looks a little close to be a planet or a star. Again, keep in mind what we just saw from the space station. Kind of looks similar, doesn't it? Something white high up in the atmosphere. Again, don't know what that was. Seth from Layton, Utah. This is a still image of some white objects, or at least one, that he saw above his house. And this comes with an email. He was able to get a telescope on the white object above his house. And let me read the email to you that he shared with me. He said these things were very, very unusual. Sheila out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This was back on October the 7th. She was very adamant that this was not an airplane. She actually did a live stream with her mom on the phone showing her this thing, and again was very adamant that this did not look like a typical airplane going through the sky. And we've been seeing a lot of those lately, or at least things that look like that. Don't know, guys. Don't claim to know. Just sharing. Those are too good not to share. I want to share this email that Seth shared with me. And again, it goes back to October 17th of 2020. Same date we saw the orbs from the International Space Station. Seth goes on to say, and again, this is out of Layton, Utah, UFO sightings, they've been above my house every day for the past couple of weeks, having all types of weird stuff happening around my house, and these things aren't like normal UFOs. If you first look at them, they look like a star, but I got binoculars and a telescope on them, and these things are like ball plasma, or lightning shooting inside with black eyeballs that look like they're scanning, and they go and change different colors. So he was describing them, what they look like through a telescope, as like ball plasma with some sort of like weird looking eyeballs on these things that almost gave him the impression that they were scanning the Earth. Very, very unusual. And that email was from Seth out of Utah. Here's a brand new picture slideshow. New high-octane photos from all around the world. William J. out of California. Absolutely spectacular sunset, multicolored. Got all kinds of colors going on. Looks like a painting. Red Cliff, Alberta, Aztec Man. Beautiful golden sunset loaded with a entire plethora of mammatus clouds. Photo here also out of Red Cliff of some lightning underneath a double-decker rainbow, followed by a bright red sky that's reflecting off of the ground. And here's that double-decker rainbow. Now it's kind of a pink and purple, as you can clearly see here from this photo sent in from Alberta. Scott and Jasmine out of Foyle, Oklahoma. Beautiful orange sky. David and Gwen, Huntsville, Arkansas. Big jumbo halo around the sun. Switzerland, Eugene B. Another very intense double-decker rainbow. That one's pretty low to the ground. Candy out of Arcola, Illinois. Absolutely beautiful photo from Illinois. Evelyn, North Carolina. Very colorful clouds in the proximity of the sun. He walks with us everywhere. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Looks like a giant feather up in the sky. Get a load of that photo, would you? Simply awesome. Good job, guys. Nick out of Washington. Beautiful orange cloud. Looks like a big ship diving through the sky there. Just incredible. There's another photo by Nick out of Washington. Kind of looks like an eye in the sky. That's what he was describing with eyelashes and everything. Here's another collection of those mammatus clouds, very small ones at that. Mary Hall, this is a photo from the International Space Station, and these are clouds, believe it or not, going over mountaintops or islands or something like that. Just an awesome view from the space station. And here's some gravity waves, looking at them from above instead of below like we normally do. Gardenia, California. Metalhead, spectacular pink and purple sky. Catherine C. Notice what look like some unusual clouds in the sky that don't look like any of their surrounding neighbors. This one looks oval, and that one there almost looks like a triangle shape. She was describing them as some sort of crafts in the sky, and I have to admit that's what they look like, or at least they totally look out of place. Jeffrey D. got what looks like a giant shadow of a triangle in the sky. Crystal P., not sure of the location, but another fiery orange sunset. You just simply cannot get any more orange than that. Me Joy out of Sunshine Coast, British Columbia. Seeing these fairy rings again. Aren't these things unusual? Just a perfect ring of mushrooms around a tree in this case, and there's none anywhere else. Just formed a perfect circle. DeTanya out of Chesterfield, Missouri. Unusual clouds in the sky. Chris S. out of Pulaski, Tennessee. Unusual hole punch cloud here that looks like a guitar pick. How about that? Kevin D. out of Cumming, Georgia. Clouds in the sky look like cotton candy or something. I don't know. They're very, very unique. And those too are hole punch clouds, and it makes you wonder how they form. You know, it looks like the clouds are literally falling out of the sky in those locations. Leo out of Cambridge, United Kingdom. Another towering double-decker rainbow. Joe from East Texas. Beautiful photo here of the sunset reflecting off of the lake. John M. Notice what looks like some sort of a craft over here in front of the moon. This is at night. That's the moon kind of embedded in those clouds, but this cloud here in the front looks like a long, narrow ship in the sky. That's what got his attention, and that's what compelled him to take the photograph. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. All of the photos end up here at the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery at the website, and sometimes I'll use them in a video slideshow just like you saw right here. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.